Hello, Pickle. My name is King Pickle, and a while back I beat all the main and side missions in Cyberpunk, and I liked it. Yeah, no, I thought it was pretty good. Definitely had its flaws, but I thought they were over-exaggerated by the internet, and that everyone online was just sort of mean. I said it. I said the title. Can I leave now? I'm gonna leave. I quit. I can't do this anymore. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the actual game of Cyberpunk. Now, everyone online has complained about the performance, and yeah, the game runs like garbage on anything that isn't a high-end PC, and I really can't excuse that, so don't think I will. We're just not really going to talk about it. It runs really bad. To me, it didn't completely ruin the experience, and I played it on a PS4 Slim. So yeah, let's talk about literally anything else when it comes to this game. I think another reason why a lot of people were turned off by the game when they initially played it was because in the first couple hours, they throw a lot of junk at you. This truly is a new IP, a new experience. When I went into it, I was going to play it like a Rockstar Ubisoft game, like GTA or Far Cry, but you can't play it like that. It's not one of those kinds of open world games. It truly is its own experience and doesn't hesitate to throw you in the deep end with all the game mechanics, like there's shooting, driving, RPG elements, weapon upgrades, looting, hacking, and wait, there's crafting in this game? But about 5 hours in, you start to realize that outside of shooting and driving, you don't really have to do anything with the side stuff in this game. I mean, sure, leveling up and character upgrades, you probably should do, and you're gonna do. It doesn't literally force you to, but there's a lot of stuff you can't do without leveling up. But that's selecting a couple options in the menus. It really takes up basically nothing when it comes to your playtime, and stuff like hacking and looting, and it sounded like I was being over dramatic in the last bit, but I genuinely forgot that there was hacking in this game till I read the script. I mean, I didn't even touch it once. I think there was a side mission where I had to do something with crafting, and I was like, okay, and I threw it out into the garbage, which is where most video game crafting mechanics should be. One thing I will praise about Cyberpunk is the actual world it takes place in. You can tell that there was so much effort, hours and hours of work, put into nailing the aesthetic of Night City, the neon lights and of the city, and it looks really nice. I will say there is not a whole lot of variety in the locations. Like, most of them are just scummy bars or little stores. I would like to see what other places you'd see in the city look like. Like, I mean, a zoo, or an aquarium, or public transport. But no, everything's just bars and strip clubs. Another area I really liked in this game was the Mad Max-styled Badlands outside of Night City. It's really cool, and driving through that area is so just fun. Because you see, unlike GTA, there's not a whole lot of room for you to drive when you're inside Night City, outside the set paths of the roads. Like, it's about 3 car-sized roads, unlike GTA, where you can just go off hills and fun stuff like that. It's very restrictive, which is in stark contrast of the more liberating feeling Badlands outside of Night City, which really pushes the theme of the soul-crushing city that the game is trying to push onto you. For real, take a shot every time in a cutscene a character in this game turns to you and says, "I'll tell you what, this city, man, it crushes your soul, but god damn, you can't escape it." I don't know why I made him sound like a cowboy. Arthur Morgan, is that you? I mean, it kind of makes sense because Cyberpunk has some of the best characters in any video game since Red Dead Redemption 2. I give a crap about nearly every single character in this game, and that's saying something. The plot is also really fun. It's very action movie video gamey. It's not this artsy-fartsy kind of plot, but man, any story in any form of media that has what can only be described as cyborg Yakuza members has to be considered a great story. I mean, it's like if Samurai Jack was in the Terminator, and you can tell that that joke is coming from someone who's never seen Samurai Jack or the Terminator. This game also has what I secretly really love in video games, which is branching story paths. You know, I love it when dialogue in a game actually has an effect on the story, and you get to choose what dialogue the characters say. I mean, you can even choose between 3 different classes which will affect different dialogue options and open up unique little things to the game. I like to call the 3 character options the nomad lifestyle, and then the other 2. Who would want to be a street kid or a witch, billionaire, scumbag, spy? I don't know. But I do like the nomad lifestyle because it's the only one where you start outside of Night City, so it's just more unique in my opinion. Maybe one day I'll play through the street kid and business person lifestyle. No, I won't. I just won't. That we're out of the way of the story and the setting, let's move on to the actual moment-to-moment core gameplay. It is what I like to call Mondo dumb. Everything in this game is so stupid. The gunplay and enemy AI are sloppy, the stealth mechanics at parts are just broken, and sometimes it's like the animations when you kill a guy are just not finished. Literally, I had a smile on my face during 90% of the gunfights in this game. And that's saying something, because I didn't use a gun throughout most of the game. I got a katana sword midway through the game due to an optional side quest, and then I exclusively used the katana sword for the rest of the main missions, because why would I use a gun when bullets bounce off me? It's so much easier just to run around and smack people with a blade, especially because sometimes you get these cool little animations when you stealth kill a guy, and the animations never work because this game is broken, and I love it. See, as much as I absolutely love Red Dead Redemption 2, that game, the overworld of fun exploring stuff, clashed with the main story beats, where it felt like it was trying to be 2 completely different games, where you'd go from being able to do whatever you want, running around as a cowboy on this horse in a massive world, in a really detailed, really nice-looking setting, to, no, do these specific things in this specific order. No, not like that. Do it the other way. Do it how I want you to do it. And it stopped making me feel like an outlaw cowboy, and made me feel like I was doing chores. See, to me, in Cyberpunk, the main missions and the side missions just gave you a lot more options, a lot more breathing room, and how you want to take out an enemy. Sure, most of the time you're just shooting bad guys, but you can do it in all different kinds of ways. Do you want to be a Solid Snake-like guy, going along your perfectly planned out route, taking out enemies up close without ever being detected, and then hacking into the little cyborg robots to distract them? Or do you want to go into a Western-style shootout, where you're behind cover and you're sniping people at a distance, taking your time, taking the shots when you need to, and then exploding a couple barrels around the way to take out massive swarms of enemies? Or the better, more fun option. The more fun option when it comes to taking down enemies in Cyberpunk is like, well, you wanna be a hero kid, well, whoop-de-doo, and then you got a shotgun in one hand and a suicide letter in the other one. You just go, and you pull out a grenade and you say a fun one-liner like, this is gonna make Nagasaki look like a fucking play date, and then you just toss the grenade. Oh, and I wonder why my parents don't respect me. But the one thing about Cyberpunk is that it has a bit of a length issue. It's about a 25 to 30 hour long campaign, but it kind of loses interest after like 20 hours. I mean, the game really tries to keep things original. They do as much as they can with just shooting bad guys. I mean, there's all these different set pieces, and genuinely, I think all the level design and the maps are really well made, with different places to cover, some conveniently well placed explosive barrels, and the enemy placement is generally pretty good. You won't normally enter a room where there's just 50 guys lazily placed there, but still, even with all that, even the varied environments and the different kinds of missions, keeping things kind of unique, it still falls into that sort of pit of just repetition towards the end of the game, which I think is a real shame. I also didn't do too much of the side mission stuff. I enjoyed what I did with it. There's a lot of cool little story bits, and honestly, some of my favorite parts of the game was the one where you get the samurai one, where you get the samurai sword. That was really fun, where there's a guy in like a storage unit, and you have to put him in your car, drive him around, and a lot of the stuff is really fun. A lot of the side stuff. But I just don't care anymore. After 30 hours, you can throw as many neat little story beats at me. I'm still just sitting there shooting bad guys. So yeah, it kind of veers off at the end, but I still think it's a very solid experience. There's also other little things where you hop in a limo with random people, normally T-Pain, and then you just sort of talk to him while he dumps a load of exposition on you, and that's that's a decent amount of the side content, is just hopping in a car and then driving around. You're not the one driving, by the way. You're just listening to the other guy in the car, which I love the characters in this game, but I don't want to do that. They knew that this was a waste of the player's time, because they put an option where you can just skip from dialogue to dialogue part, skipping all the in-between time, which in my opinion is hilarious. If you ever find a point in your game where you think about putting a skip feature, you probably gotta rethink that part of the game. But weirdly enough, even when I was facing the same repetitious gameplay over and over again, the story just gave me the will to just keep on going. The story genuinely is really great, especially near towards the end, where your choices actually have an effect on the story. I won't spoil anything, obviously. You know, just, the game will crush your soul from lost potential, but god damn it, you just can't escape it. Just like the city! Hey guys, I know I haven't been putting out the same frequency of content as I used to. I'm still striving for 1 to 2 videos a week. It's just harder now because my computer is broken and is in the shop getting fixed. So normally I would fill in the time in between bigger uploads with streams and some tier lists and stuff like that. That I just simply can't do right now. So the only thing I really can do is the more scripted reviews and bigger stuff. So I'm sorry about that. As soon as I finish uploading this video, I'm gonna go right into writing for the next video. That should take 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 days to write. You should be getting it next Friday or Saturday. I'm pretty sure this being uploaded on Friday. So expect it 8 days till the next video. It's gonna be a bit of a big one. I'm gonna be listing my top 10 games of 2020. Only 3 months late. Anyway, this is a quick little pickle check-in. Anyway, Byron Pugjar, always Pickle Pirate. See y'all next episode. Booey.